Hello everyone, and welcome to the video. Today we are exploring a concept for Rain World called the drowned sun. Taking place inside a desert where it is too scorching hot for even the rain that Rain World is known for to fall. This world is all that the Burrower has known, a slugcat who is both prey and predator. Its goal is currently unknown. Let's begin talking about the Burrower. The Burrower is a carnivore, surviving on meat alone. The Burrower has several main abilities that help it survive in the desert: venom, burrowing, tail rattling. The Burrower, a lanky, snake-like slugcat with venomous fangs and a forked tongue. This is the slugcat you will be playing as during this campaign. They have potent venom as well. Smaller creatures like lantern mice, hazers, small centipedes will die immediately after getting bit by it. Those slightly bigger creatures than that, like scavengers, blue lizards, and pink lizards, would still take one bite, but it takes a few more seconds for them to die. Even bigger creatures, like cyan lizards, vultures, salamanders, will take 2 bites before they die after a few seconds. And then there are creatures like red lizards, king vultures, and green/caramel lizards, who would die after 3 bites. And that is all about how the Burrower's venom ability works. So now we are moving on to the ability that gave the Burrower its name. The Burrower is able to bury itself underneath the sand to avoid most predators and even ambush them with its venom. Though vultures can still spot the Burrower when it is buried, and bombs can also knock the Burrower out of hiding. And last ability is tail rattling. The Burrower arches its back and rattles its tail to seem big and scary if it is threatened into a corner where it cannot bury itself. This works on some creatures. Other creatures kill it, and scavengers throw spears at it in response to this ability. So never use this ability on scavengers. But one downside to the Burrower is that they are defensively weak. If their main body is attacked, for example bitten by a lizard, they will immediately die. But attacking the Burrower works as a double-edged sword for any predator, because if they instead bite the Burrower's tail, the Burrower can strike them and bite them to make them let go, thus injecting venom, being fatal for smaller lizard species. The Burrower finds its home in the boiling basin, a large desert with no rain. The heat there is high enough that some creatures physically cannot live there, but some creatures do find their home there, like the Burrower itself. There are cacti, dunes, and sand all around for all that the eye can see, and the Burrower has never left the comfort of its natural habitat before. The sun is big in the sky, shining brightly. The first of the new predators found in this area is the tan lizard. Much like the Burrower, the tan lizard is able to bury itself under the sand, but also using its head's colors to camouflage into the sand. This way it can wait for prey to walk over to it, not realizing it is there. But if one does notice it is there and throws something at it, it will unbury itself and flee. Another species of lizard are the dune lizards, chubby and lazy lizards who only attack what is right in front of their face. You can jump onto their back when they try to bite you, and they just stop attacking and lay there as you stand on them. They don't chase, it uses too much energy. They can easily be tamed by giving them a single piece of food, which will make that specific dune lizard stop attacking you when you're right in front of it. One last thing that the Burrower would find in this area of the boiling basin would be the false cactus, a carnivorous creature with the appearance of a cactus with flowers. The flowers are all mouths, and if one of it senses something alive, it will send out its tongue, wrapping it around the prey and pulling it into its mouth in order to bite and kill it. It will try this with the Burrower too, but the Burrower's burying itself ability will protect it from this attack. With these 3 creatures of the first area of the boiling basin, the Burrower begins its journey with sensing something calling out to it, a feeling it has never had before. It may have been confused, it may have been startled, but all of its instincts are telling it to follow this feeling. The Burrower would find a pearl at its feet, which it can store in its stomach like all other slugcats can do with certain objects. Its urges tell it to pick it up and carry it, so it does. At this point, you take control of the burrower and must begin traversing the boiling basin while avoiding the predators. But if you manage to stay long enough for a cycle to be over, instead of rain falling, it will turn to night, even bringing along its own predators that would be a danger to the burrower. It is recommended to find a shelter at this time, but if you want to challenge yourself to survive the night, then you can do that too. While the false cactus is the only creature from the first set that stays at night, the first new creature that appears at night are the ghoul lizards. Tanky lizards with a glowing light that extends off of their back. They use the lights to hypnotize and attract prey in the dark. They appear almost ghostly in the dark due to their dark bodies and the light surrounding them from their little light ball. Throwing a spear at the ghoul lizard's light ball will shatter the ball, thusly leaving the ghoul lizard to starve to death because of its main hunting method being destroyed. Ghoul lizards are tameable too, and they use their lights to help defend and hunt for the burrower too when tamed, using their light to distract any creature while the burrower is able to take that opportunity to bite the other creature to inject venom into them, killing them for food for both themselves and even the ghoul lizard. Moving on to the ghoul lizard's lesser cousins, the gray lizards, a species of lizard even smaller than the strawberry lizards, which are around the size of a slugcat, thus making this lizard species even smaller than the burrower. These gray lizards have the ability to stretch out their tongue and grapple to surfaces, much like the strawberry lizards do. In doing so, they can traverse areas much quicker and avoid larger predators. If you continue on and finally escape from the boiling basin, following the strange urges that the burrower was getting, you make it into a large room with a special enemy waiting for you. The burrower won't notice it yet, instead being intrigued by this non-desert area because it never knew anything but the desert. If you continue moving, you will meet the creature waiting here. Another version of a formerly mentioned creature, the king ghoul lizard, a more powerful variant of the ghoul lizard. You have to fight this lizard in an area where the burrower cannot use its burrowing ability. Unlike other creatures, the king ghoul lizard doesn't take 1, 2, or 3 bites. Instead, it takes a full 4 bites before the burrower can take it down. That's about what you have to do here. Bite the king ghoul lizard 4 times to kill it. The burrower would have to use this new terrain to jump around to get behind the king ghoul lizard in order to bite it 4 times. And upon the defeat of the king ghoul lizard, a cutscene would begin to play. The burrower would be standing on top of the king, exhausted after the battle. The burrower, hoping that no more fights would come, would want to rest, but they would hear something coming from the vent they entered from. A normal ghoul lizard would then poke its head out of the vent and notice that the king ghoul lizard was dead. The burrower would expect a fight, but surprisingly, it would never come because something else would happen instead. Instead of attacking, the ghoul lizard would revere the burrower as the new king. Upon getting this ending, from now on, all ghoul lizards would revere the burrower as their new king, defending it if it is ever in the same area as them at night. And that was just the first ending. At this point, reloading afterwards lands you in the same area where the boss battle took place and right after the ending occurred. A new area would open up for you to go through, and if you keep moving forward, the burrower would find a place it would have never believed has ever existed before without seeing it with his own eyes. An area of shoreline outside of base game. All creatures that appear in the shoreline can appear here. Jetfish, jellyfish, sea leech, monster kelp, salamander, garbage worm, snail, batfly, vulture, leviathan, hazer, white lizard, and then after lineage, red lizard. The burrower's burrowing ability won't work here, so you have to work on jumping out of the way and behind predators to be able to get a bite on them. On top of that, now you have to deal with rain at the end of every cycle, making it tougher to survive. Unknown to even the burrower itself, how it would even have the mark of communication already, or who even gave it to the snake-like Slugcat, it would now meet its first echo in the shoreline. The burrower's mark of communication would glow, and the echo would begin to speak to them.
So the young one seeks a world outside the comfort of their own home. To travel far means a goal, to seek the beauty of something afar. Do you ever wonder what it is like? Do you have a plan in mind? This place. It has gone on farther than ever imagined. Do you find beauty? Or is everything a disgrace? Is this what you wanted?
As the burrower awakens in the previous shelter they were in, they were left to contemplate what they have just heard. From there, the burrower is able to travel, and they head straight towards where Looks to the Moon is. The burrower would spit out the pearl and hand it to Moon. She looks at the pearl before beginning to read what it said.
Saunters in the dark. I will give you 10 more warnings. Send something to help me escape my death, or I will send a beast to slay you. Now I know just how much being alone in the dark affects you. Even my burning rage will be held off for now, but I don't know how much longer it will be for. Fury in the rain.
Moon would be visibly upset upon reading this message out loud. She would speak again.
Why would Fury threaten Saunters like this? Saunters has been nothing but kind. He even happily told me about this one Slugcat he met cycles ago when he last contacted me. I hope everything is going okay. Poor Saunters.
Moon seemed to go quiet for a moment before speaking to the burrower once more.
If you're thinking about what you should do, maybe going to Outer Expanse would be a great start, if you are able to make it there. I hope you are. I'm sorry I can't help more.
Leaving Moon, the burrower would be met with its second echo. Approaching it, the echo would speak.
Ever wondered what laid beyond your known world? Is that why you chose to leave? Or was it something greater calling to you? Would you continue if your world shattered, your safety benign? Sometimes safety breeds terror, and sometimes terror breeds greater beauty. What sort of road would you choose to go?
Apologies about cutting the video here, but due to the current time limit my channel has, I have to. I will be explaining more of the burrower's story in the next episode, so stay tuned.